Hello, everybody. Welcome to lunch with our long ears. It is Tuesday, November 4th, Election Day. Go get your votes taken care of if you haven't taken care of your votes. We are enjoying a nice sunny day today. Lots of volunteers and helpers here visiting with the donkeys, and we're getting some training sessions in and getting some hoof trims done and taking care of cleaning pens and the usual stuff that we do on our daily basis. We celebrated a couple birthdays of our volunteers today, so that was fun. Happy birthday to our November volunteers that were here today that we were able to celebrate. Things that are going on. Colorado Gives Day started out. It is the Colorado Gives Day campaign. Started November 1st and it runs through December 9th, which is actually Colorado Gives Day. We are live on the site. There is a $250,000 match available to anybody that starts a new recurring monthly donation. We're calling our monthly donors our Burro backers, and we will be honored to have you as part of our Burro backers. If you make a donation, the Colorado Gives Foundation will match up to $100 of your first month, and then the recurring donation will just go in as a donation. But the match up front is super duper helpful, and that is free money to us for any recurring donation. So that's one exciting thing going on. Check out our site on coloradogives.com.org. There's links to it on our Facebook page, as well as in our newsletter and our emails that have gone out to our community. If you did not receive that, please feel free to message and reach out, and we'll get you a link as well. Going on, we're working with some donkeys. We've had a few go home in the last several days. Lots of new companion jobs. We've had several community members who lost a donkey or lost a horse and left a single donkey alone and came in looking for somebody to keep their single donkey's companions. So we've had several go home in that situation in the last couple weeks. We have a decent handful, probably about 10 to 12 that should be moving here in the next 4 to 6 weeks, I would say. And so there's lots of training and getting them prepped and ready to go. Some of our adoptees are going out of state, and so we'll be doing all of the health paperwork and things like that with our vet to get them ready to travel. And we're getting transport and various things organized so that they can go, on top of working with them so that they can be handled and get their training and be able to be handled when they get to their new homes. So we'll take a quick walk around. You can see our trench is all filled in. We're at the stage of concrete is curing and the waters are getting ready to be mounted this week. We're hoping that we are going to be able to turn the waters on this weekend. The last step is getting the electrical hooked up and getting the waters mounted to the concrete once it's fully cured. So that's really exciting at our place. Everybody in this pen is doing super well. They're happy that it's sunny today. A little bit of movement around. These guys are working on getting a couple donkeys in for training, and so we can watch this for just a second and see how we make the movement happen. We use the natural barriers in the pen in order to get them in. So we try to push them along a fence line and ultimately put them into a funnel chute at the back that will get them into a training pen. We go into training pens for a couple of different reasons. Hey, Sophia, go catch that group before they all turn the corner. I think Chip and Dale are still in the back. So just watch so that they don't come across. It's a little bit of a sport with this many donkeys, but a couple hands and they usually move in. We put them in a training pen, so that they are in a comfortable, safe place to work with them. We are in a comfortable place, safe place to work with them, and they can get out of the mix of the group and have one-on-one attention with our volunteers and trainers. So they're working on getting, that's either Chip or Dale. He's going in now. Taz is there waiting for him. Taz always helps, shows them where they're supposed to go, and they'll pull that green shut behind him. So training's going on. We're providing updates to the adopters as they go. We've got a couple kids that have had a little bit of sore feet, but seem to be getting better with that. So we're just keeping an eye on them. And everybody else is just eating and sleeping and playing and enjoying the sunshine while we have it. We've had cold days and we've had nice warm days like today. Current second, there's no wind and there's no nastiness going on. But up here we have Carol, who came to visit today, and she's got a couple that are taking treats from her and taking touches. Carol, say hi. So she's feeding some carrots to these guys and trying to get hands on them before they take a carrot. So they learn the word touch. They learn that they get rewarded if they allow a touch to happen. Say, but there's a camera in our face now. It's scary. So that is either Chip or Dale. Have you seen his tongue stick out yet? Then that's Dale. And Chip is in the pen now. So he's going in next. So these guys don't know touches, they don't know people, they don't know interactions. So we work on building their trust, and this is all steps that we take in their gentling process to get them ready to go. Cows are a little bit noisy today. Their food is on the way. They think that they're starving, but they're not. So we'll walk around and say hi. She has Chip now all the way into the training pen. That's how we work on getting touches on them and just figure out how they're going to respond. And if they're scared, we try to teach them about the good news about grain. We give grain as a reward, and if they can eat out of the bowl while they're in there, that helps to settle them down a little bit. Some of his deal may be that he's not only his first time in there, he's a young guy, but his bonded partner is not in there, and so they panic a little bit when they get separated too. Here comes Winston. You coming to say hi, buddy? I don't have any treats. You have to talk to Miss Carol. Yeah. There you go, Winnie. So there's our three ambassadors. That's Scout, Taz, and Winston. Taz is in red, Scout in blue, Winston in green. They always wear the same colors. They know about touches and they know about food. They get a little bit pushy. All the rest of these guys coming in know about food too. So other things that are going on, our newsletter went out on the 1st of November. If you did not receive it and you're interested in receiving a copy of it, please feel free to comment or message. Has all the updates on what we have going on here. And don't walk into the chair. We had a semi of hay come in last week. Our hay barn is filled again. There's posts about that on Facebook, showing reel of the unloading that's once again able to happen as a result of our grant from the state of Colorado Department of Agriculture and our new skid steer, because we can now bring in semis at need in order to bring in our hay. We'll go say hi to these guys. You're gonna say hi, Lenny? There you go, Nance. It's officially on video. She's been trying and trying and trying to get his voice on video for a very long time. So these guys are hanging out. They're a little bit vocal right now because they want to go out to the pasture, but we're going to work with them a little bit this afternoon before they get to go out. So they're going to hang inside for a few minutes longer. Jack's nursing a little bit of a sore foot, so we're going to take a look at that this afternoon. You guys let us in so we can come say hi. Come here. Everybody's getting their winter coats. This is the time of the year that I start to get a lot of questions about blankets. So the answer for blankets at Burro Base Camp is that we have blankets here. And if we see donkeys that are struggling and that are thin or not thriving necessarily, if we see shivering at all, we put a blanket on. Otherwise, these guys resort to their own fur coats. Their coats are getting very thick. Einstein is one that used to have to be blanketed, but now that he's got skin on his bones and meat on his bones, he does not need to be blanketed anymore. So we blanket as needed, and in the event of an emergency, if we have anybody that's not feeling well, we blanket immediately at this time of year to keep them warm so that they're not fighting calories, trying to stay warm on top of trying to get better if they're not feeling well. So we have blankets on hand. Most of our adopters have access to blankets. If you are in need of a blanket, please feel free to reach out. We'll make sure that you get what you need and take care of it. Here's Mr. Niner. You don't always see his face. He doesn't have his mask on today. He's on a refeed program and he's doing much better. You say hi? Good boy. Good boy. We need to get him on the live in the morning when he's begging for his bowl of food now. It's the most terrifying cry that you've ever heard. Right, buddy? Yes, you're very proud of it, aren't you? So all these guys doing really, really well. Doing a bunch of hoof care this week while we have nice weather and taking advantage of it. I'm very grateful for this week that we have the weather that we have and not the same weather that we had last year at this time, which was about 48 inches of snow. So we'll take the days that we have without snow, huh? This is Teton. Teton was a little bit under the weather a week or so ago, but he popped pretty fast out of it. Here's Jack. You've been rolling in something. Yeah, you're a mess. A mess. And you have a sore foot. So I'll help your foot when I'm done, okay? Okay? All right. So we'll go this way and take a look at moms and babies. Everybody's doing really well. Nope, you're not eating right now. It is not time. Not time. You gonna make your terrible noise? Another thing that's been going on is we have several different people in the community or several different neighborhoods that donate their pumpkins and straw bales and corn stalks and various Halloween decorations, fall decorations, so that the animals can enjoy the pumpkins, etc. So we've been feeding lots of pumpkins. It's good for the animals. It's not terrible. It's good probiotic and good for their bellies and guts. The cows have been eating a lot, but the donkeys have had pumpkins a couple days this week. So thank you to everybody in the community that has donated pumpkins or that is gathering pumpkins for us. And for the straw bales, we use those for bedding when it gets cold and various things in the barn. There's Miss Cadence. You say hi? So the tarp is covering up the straw now, back behind us. The straw got moved out of the hay barn so that the hay could go in when we received the semi. So we're back to full load. I can show you what our full load looks like. Cadence likes to go in here because there was mice in the straw and they're all over the shop now, aren't they, little kid? So full semi of hay. It's about 3 to 4 months worth of food for these guys. So we're very fortunate to have a full barn going into the winter. Cadence, come. Good girl. So the babies is not going to be an overly exciting visit today because they're already out to pasture. These guys are going out to pasture a little bit earlier in the day now since it's getting dark, daylight savings time. So they're getting to go out middle of the day and they're staying out until about 3:30 or so in the afternoon. And then by 4:45 they've been fed and it's dark and they're tucked in for the night. So these guys are out to pasture already. We'll just pan out on pasture and see if there's anything happening. Sometimes babies are running around, but at the moment they don't look like they are. We trimmed 4 of the adult donkeys in this pen this morning. So hooves are getting updated and they're just out grazing. When the pen that has Lenny and Einstein, the one that we were just in, goes out, they share a fence line. So they'll get to visit and play in the afternoon. And then everybody comes back in at the end of the day. People often ask about how they come in, and most of the time now, there's not a whole lot of food out here. They're just munching around for the afternoon. It's not a lot of content as far as what they're eating. So usually they'll come in because they're hungry, and they come in on their own. But otherwise, we just go for a walk and walk behind them, and they'll come in on their own. So it's not really that big of a deal to get them in, and they get good time out, and they're able to stretch and play a little bit before they all come back in. Miss Reba is still pregnant. Full moon right now. It's not looking like she's gonna deliver this full moon, so maybe we're gonna be the full moon in December that she's gonna have her baby. But she's still carrying that baby and healthy and eating and doing everything that she needs to. So hopefully that baby's cooking and gonna be a nice healthy little baby when it arrives. And hopefully not on the coldest, snowiest day of the winter. So I think that is most of the updates for today. We had a board meeting for our nonprofit on Monday, and month of gratitude. We just want to say thank you to all of our community and all of our supporters and all of our donors, all of our grant providers, all of the people that generously give their time as volunteers. We had over 500 hours of volunteers in October, which was a new record for us. And we're on track for, I think we've actually surpassed last year already with a whole quarter left. So we are very, very grateful for everybody that contributes in the ways that they contribute. And we absolutely couldn't do it without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you ever have questions in the process of your donations of where the money's going, please feel free to reach out. Our financials are published, but we're happy to tell you on a day-to-day basis where our money is coming in and going out to. The vast majority of it goes to our programming and to the care of the donkeys, feed and hay, grains for the kids that are on supplemental programs, and we're doing Equilix tubs at this time of the year, all of our veterinary care We're about to do our fall deworming, which I just ordered more than Chewy was able to ship in single shipments because it wasn't legal for them to send as much as I brought in. So we have all that waiting for our good frost to come along, and farrier care and just the various things to keep the pastures and the shelters and the corrals up and running so that they're safe for everybody to have a good spot to live and that they're comfortable and warm and safe. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we are grateful. Please check out our Colorado Give site, and we'll look forward to updating you next week. Have a great Tuesday.